H-Town, what it do? I'm Nick Stevenson, the president of Houston Sports. He's Mr. 713, Ruben Calvillo. This is the Twin Toros podcast. Give me my theme music. First of all, as always, Ruben, I know you agree with me when I say this. We have to continue to thank our listeners, our people who've been watching our videos, all of their support. Without them, we wouldn't be doing this right now. We would have never made Rock the Mic final. You and I wouldn't have met each other. We wouldn't have had the opportunity to connect with ESPN and start this Twin Toros podcast. I'm just so appreciative for all of them.
Absolutely, man. We're nothing without our fans, and just to see the reaction from the episodes we do, from when we go to the tailgates and training camp, man, it means the world to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you and I, you probably will agree with this also. The hard work that we put in sometimes goes unnoticed. So when there are people who appreciate that hard work, it means everything. So we appreciate all of you guys, and we want to ask you to please continue to support us. If you're watching on ESPN, go follow Ruben and his channel at 713 Houston Sports. You can find me at Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. All of those links will be in the description of this video or the audio that you're listening to. All right, man. The Texans are going into week 6 a little bit banged up. There was a lot of DNPs and a lot of LPs at practice on that injury report. The biggest loss, of course, is Nico Collins, who was placed on IR. He'll be out for 4 games. Now, I know you said you didn't want to see him against the Patriots. Anyway, we'll talk about the implications of him being out longer than that a little bit later. But look, man, we've talked all offseason and during the season about how deep this wide receiver room is. Ruben, it's time for them to prove it.
No, absolutely. And this is why you brought in Stephon Diggs. And this is why we were excited about Tank Dell also entering year 2. This is their moment to step up. And, Diggs has had himself a quiet, good season for this Houston Texans team so far. It's been number 3, Tank Dell, who we haven't really seen an explosion game. Maybe we see that in the next 4 weeks with Nico Collins not being there. But Stephon Diggs, I think this is his moment to show exactly why he's still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He has a captain patch on his chest for a reason. Last week meant a lot to him, and I think he is gonna reward us with some fantastic wide receiver play.
Yeah. And I don't know how much this is in the front of his mind, but he's also a free agent next year.
Absolutely.
And if he's balling out with Nico Collins on the field, it'd be real easy for other GMs to say, oh, well, yeah, of course you had a good season. You had Nico Collins on the other side. Well, now's an opportunity for him to show, hey, I'm still that dude. So there's a lot of incentive for him to do that personally and as far as team goals are concerned. And I don't know about you, but I expect him to be him. And I kind of expect Tank Dell to step up as well. For me, the real question is, who else is going to be able to step up? Can we see John Mechie have a game? Can we see Xavier Hutchinson have a game? These tight ends have an opportunity here. Schultz, we know what he's going to do. But can Brevin Jordan or Cade Stover have a couple of catches, contribute? It's going to take a lot more than one person to make up for what Nico Collins has done for this team. And so the question is, do you trust those other guys to do that?
The only guy that I trust right now is number 7. And CJ Stroud is one of them dudes. I think he will be able to get it done. When you look at Stephon Diggs and and Tank Dell, maybe not the numbers we were expecting. However, when you have one guy who was leading the league in receiving yards, who looks like a top 3, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL, you could understand why maybe their numbers are lower.
Right.
But let's just say in these next 4 games, we see Tank Dell have a 100-yard game. We see Stephon Diggs have a 100-yard game. It's only going to tell me that these guys are good, but Nico Collins is just that much better.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to rely on number 7, man. You brought up Dalton Schultz, and he kind of stepped up last week when Nico Collins went down. When it was on 3rd, it went to Dalton. He had that big moment in the 4th quarter where CJ puts it between 4 Buffalo Bills. It comes down with it, move the chains. We'll like to see our tight end more involved there. It's
Yeah.
going to be a group effort, but when you have number 7, you feel like you could get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to find the guy who's open, and he's going to create some things that maybe aren't there on off schedule plays as well. Speaking of CJ Stroud, I think it's going to be extremely important to protect him. Also listed on this injury report are 3 of your 5 offensive linemen. You got Kenyon Green, Titus Howard, and Laramie Tunsil. I know you were confident that the Texans didn't need Nico Collins to win this game. What about the offensive line? You think a few of these guys can sit it out and we'll be okay?
Well, if there's one guy that's going to sit out, I do think it probably would be Titus Howard. Did not play against the Buffalo Bills. This is Laramie Tunsil's off day. It's been that way for a couple of years now. I think Kenyon Green will be able to go this Sunday. If there's anyone that sits out, it might be Titus Howard, and we saw our rookie Blake Fisher fill in for him.
Yeah, and Blake did okay. He had some rookie moments. So,
Yeah, the fumble that CJ had,
mhm.
you could put the blame on him of giving up the pressure there.
Oh yeah, for sure. He definitely got backed into CJ and crowded him. I thought that was pretty obvious. For me, I say as many of those guys that can play, please play, because at the end of the day, this is the NFL. You still got to protect number 7. CJ Stroud and his protection is going to be extremely important. I'm looking at Damian Pierce. He was limited in practice. Are you ready to see him come back, or how confident are you in Cam Akers and Agumbawale?
No, I mean, of course, I'm ready for DP to come back. However, I don't want him to come back and just take all of Darway's touches. The past 2 weeks, Darway Agumbawale has been one of the reasons why you've won these games. The go-ahead touchdown against Jacksonville and 2 huge third down conversions. One of them moved the chains and almost ended the game for the
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans. Darway's been playing fantastic. Would Damon, you just like that he could be there behind Cam Akers, to run the rock? Dare's kind of, used more as a receiving back. Cam Akers has been running fine, though. I will give him credit. He looks like a very good, very reliable backup running back, but it doesn't hurt to have another RB back there. And with Damian Pierce, we're just waiting to see what are you going to be for this Houston
Right.
Texans team.
Yeah, and I think we're waiting to see if this week he'll ever be a full participant in practice. If he's able to be a full participant, I say bring him back. But these hamstrings, man, they're real tricky. And the same way we felt about when we were talking about Christian Harris. Right now, you're 4-1. This is a game that you assume is a lesser point. And I haven't seen the point spread. I know you're big on BetUS, so maybe you can hook us up with that a little bit later. But I think this is one of those games where you don't take any game for granted, and it can definitely be a trap game if you allow it to be, because you've got Green Bay coming up. But I think this is a game where hopefully some of these non-superstars on your team who have stepped up in moments can continue to have those moments. I think Dare Ogunbowale has been a difference maker in the absence of Pierce and Mixon, man. Not as much in the running game, but those short passes that he extends to long passes, I mean, that's just as good as having a long run. As long as you're moving the chains, I'm good with it. What is the spread in this game? Do you have that?
Yeah, so the Houston Texans are currently 7-point favorites, with Drake May getting his first start on Sunday. So Vegas has the Houston Texans winning this game. Does it move any higher or lower? We will keep you updated, man. Shout out to BetUS, giving you 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. 7-point favorite here, man. I see it. You saw what happened to the last time the Texans defense faced a rookie quarterback. I mean, Caleb Williams was under pressure, I believe 48% of the time, was sacked 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Drake May is not as athletic as Caleb Williams. Maybe that 7 becomes 10.
Yeah.
But it's a tough draw for him going against this Houston Texans defense.
This isn't the Bears defense either that the Patriots have. And Jabril
No,
Peppers.
man, these Patriots suck. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And they were dominant for almost 20 years. This is what you expected after the glory days of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good right now in New England.
Yeah, Jabril Peppers is out. Apparently, he's on cocaine and assault charges. So he's the captain of their defense. So this might be the game. I hope this is the game, Ruben, where we finally see the Texans put up that 30 spot. I would be surprised if they don't.
Well, we have to see who's there. Is Joe Mixon going to play? I'm not sure. I feel like this Houston Texans team could probably win this game 20-10. I mean, that's how bad the New England Patriots offense has been with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback. D'Amico Ryans has showed us that he's willing to win these close games. We have yet to see the Houston Texans step on anyone's throat so far this season.
Yeah,
Hopefully, it is against the Patriots. I mean, I love myself a 30 bagger. I love myself a complete ass whooping and blowout.
yeah,
Do we get it this Sunday without Nico, without Joe Mixon? It would tell a lot if we did. It would mean that without two of your best offensive weapons, this Houston Texan offense can still overcome that. I mean, we saw it last year
yeah,
with almost no offensive linemen.
yeah,
But this is going to be a game that I think the Houston Texans, I mean, like you saw with Vegas, 7 points is a lot. So,
yeah. When I say a 30 spot, also, that doesn't have to all be offensive scoring. I think the defense needs to wreck shop in this game. And I have some people that I'm going to have eyes on. We'll go to that in a little bit, but it's step up time for the defense. Let me go ahead and say, who are you going to be putting a close eye on both sides of the ball? Who you want to see step up and ball out in this game?
I mean, let's look at our two edge rushers, Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson Jr. Let's see some of those sacks, baby.
Yeah,
Let's see the reason why we came in thinking we were going to have the best edge rushing duo in the NFL. Daniil Hunter, I need one or two. Will, I need one or two. Just terrorize Drake May. You're going to have opportunities too. One of these defensive tackles is going to get a sack, whether it's Lorenzo Fatukasi
hmm,
or Tim Settle Jr. But this front four, I am looking at them because I'm tired of hearing they are the number one team in pressures. I, I hear that. I hear almost sacks. You
right.
need to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and I think this is hopefully the game to do it. Also, Ramondre Stevenson, their running back, he's had fumbling
Decent.
issues. The Texans are not getting turnovers this year, man. So I want to see sacks. I want to see turnovers. I think this is a great opportunity to do it. On the offensive side, I want to see a big game from Tank Dell. I've also got my eyes on Kamari Lassiter. Uh, this is a rookie on rookie situation. I think whenever teams are going up against a rookie corner, they're going to try to test him. And listen, Kamari's had a few plays where he's been hurt, he's been burned, but I do like the fact that he keeps coming back. But I want to see him have himself one of those dominant performances where maybe he doesn't allow any catches or definitely no scores. That's what I'm looking for from him. I just want this defense to prove that it's one of the best defenses in the NFL because we've seen the Patriots be dominated by other teams this year. And if somehow Drake May comes in as a rookie and we have one of those, Bryce Young situations from last season, I think the city's going to be ready to burn itself down at that point. This is a must. I don't want to say a must win, but it's a game that you expect the Texans to win. And if they don't, then you have more problems than you thought you did.
No, I mean, absolutely, which is why you hear some people call this a trap game. I don't think that. I think this Houston Texans team is coached well enough to avoid situations like that. But, this is a must win. I'm right there with you, Nick. You're fighting for top place in the AFC. Now that you are past the first month of the season, you see where you and the rest of the league stands.
Mm-hmm.
The Houston Texans have an opportunity to separate themselves in standing in the divisions. We only have 18 weeks, man. So we need to take advantage, anytime we get an opportunity to put up a W.
Yeah.
We're also going to a place that we've never won before. So this is a game where I do believe it's a must win. 5-1, Nick,
Yeah.
would be insane. Like we'll be saying, yes, we expected this Houston Texans to be there, and we can start looking at some potential accolades later on towards the end of the year. But
Yeah.
5-1, man, you're looking at one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. And that would be big to go into Green Bay on a win streak.
And if you
Because
win that game without Nico, ooh.
yeah, man. AFC South Warzone is gonna have to shut down the
Dude, I'm
group.
tired of them, bro. Like, you know
They're
how
gonna have to shut down
embarrassing
the
it is
group. Oh, it's very, very embarrassing.
to drop like 20 posts a day, not even about your team. And, just,
That
the
lets
only
us
thing
know
you're
we're
looking
winning.
for is those likes and comments,
Yeah,
man.
that
And
lets us
then they get upset, bro, when we start clapping back. They're like, oh, you guys show me your saw. We take little shots at you and you get all hurt. And like, bro, your team's garbage, dude.
Your
Don't
team's
talk to
trash.
me.
Your team's trash. No, man. I'm looking forward to this game. I want to. We'll do this first. Give me your points. The Texans will win if.
Yeah, the Texans will win if they'll be able to run the ball. I think this will probably be a good ground game. The Miami Dolphins absolutely torched New England last week. I think it was almost 190 yards from all the running backs. If Damian Pierce is there, we'll like to see him get some runs. But,
Yeah.
let's also see Stephon Diggs be the number one guy for the next 4 weeks. You mentioned he is a free agent at the end of the season. Imagine he said, yes, look at my numbers with Nico there, but look at him without number 12. And I was the number one guy, and I won us big games
Yeah.
against, the Lions, against the Cowboys, against the Packers. So I hope we can see some Stephon Diggs going. Of course, we would love to see number 3 get involved, CJ Stroud's best friend.
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to do their job. It's just how is this offense going to be without number 12 and potentially without Joe Mixon?
Yeah, for sure. I have Texans will win if the defense is dominant, if CJ has a clean pocket and time to throw, and if Darian Akers can combine together for 100 plus. I think the Texans have a good chance of winning. I want to go back to Stephon Diggs real quick. We talk about how this is his opportunity, how he is a free agent. Do you have any concern that if for some reason things don't go well while Nico was out, he's not putting up the big numbers? Do you have any concern of some of these rumors about him as a locker room guy start creeping up? The national media at least is going to start stoking that fire. If we see CJ and Stephon having an excited conversation on the sidelines, all of a sudden all the headlines are going to be Stephon Diggs unhappy. Are you concerned with any of that at all?
No, and I don't know why, someone would bring that up, because if he was going to complain, then he would have complained this first 5 weeks when he wasn't the number one guy. Now he is going to be the number one guy. You should expect double digit targets to Stephon Diggs for however long Nico Collins is not on the field. He is the number one guy for the Houston Texans. He has not shown any sign of a locker room cancer, of
Mm-mm.
being a diva. You saw it all the way in training camp. He was staying outside with dudes who are not even on this football team anymore, working on routes, working on their releases. Stephon Diggs has been a captain since he's been here, man. And captains, when the light is on them, they're gonna have an opportunity to show who and what they are. And I think this will be a great opportunity for Stephon Diggs to just still tell the NFL world, I'm that dude. I'm one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And uh, I think the whole Stephon Diggs I don't know where it came from, but it's completely overblown. You saw them even speculating about the interaction between him and Josh Allen last week.
That was funny though. That was the little
The little
side eye.
meme.
That was
Yeah, the meme that was funny. That's one of the best memes of the football season, to be honest with you.
Man, don't worry, man. Stephon Diggs, he got Cardi B to deal with, man. So he has his hand full. Shout out to
Yeah,
Diggs out
there's some
there.
there's a little bit of off the field drama surrounding him as well, but I don't think that's anything new for him. I'm expecting him to ball out, man. I really hope that he does, and I think that he will. Can you fathom a scenario that the Texans don't win this game? And tell me, like, what would possibly have to happen for the Texans to not win this game?
It would have to be your offense having no type of rhythm. And if that happens, you know where all the blame's going to go to. The blame's going to go to your offensive coordinator. I'm telling you that right here, right now. If this Houston Texan offense cannot get it done without Stephon Diggs or Tank Dell, a lot of people are going to be looking at Bobby Slowick. He is already getting criticism, even though the Houston Texans have the number one passing attack in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. However, some of the criticism has come from me, it's come from you. Still feels like this offense hasn't played to its potential. If the Houston Texans lose this
Yeah.
game, that's the only way I can see it, is the offense just stalling. Because I don't think, the Patriots offense has put up more than 14 points these past 3 weeks. And I don't think they're going to put up more than 10 against D'Amico Ryans.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, with Bobby Slowick, I know that a lot of it is that our expectation was that this offense was going to look like the greatest show on turf.
Mhm.
And I don't know if maybe we overestimated the offensive line and how good it was going to be or should be. But yeah, it just, here's the thing. We're 4-1, and we can all agree the offense has not clicked on all cylinders at any point in the season for longer than maybe a quarter or so. I'm not anti Bobby Slowick though. But if you're right. If he has a bad offensive showing in this game, then all of a sudden there's going to be some talk about whether or not he deserves to be considered a head coach in this league anytime soon. But there'll be some talk about his chops as a offensive coordinator as well. So I don't think that's going to happen. Let's not even put that juju out there.
Yeah,
I want to go ahead and do some score predictions, man. I'm going to give you mine first. And guys, when you're watching this video, I want you to put your score predictions in the comments. If anyone accurately predicts the score to this game, we are going to send you some Twin Toros podcast t-shirts. We need you guys repping the pod for us out there all over H-Town. Ruben, I'm giving the Texans a double-digit victory, 35-14.
35-14.
35-14 without Nico. It's time for Stephon and Tank to do the thing. And I'm sorry, man. I just think this Patriots team is not good enough, even without Nico Collins, to hang with this Texans team. I want to see a big win.
I have it 24-10. So
Okay.
so still a double-digit lead, but I agree. I think this Houston Texans team should be better than the New England Patriots without Nico Collins.
And that 35-14, I'm sorry, that is some defensive scores in there. I'm expecting us to turn the ball over, get some defensive scores in there too.
Well, let's do it, man. Let's get a Derek Stingley pick six, or let's get a fumble recovery after a Danielle Hunter sack. I love that. Let's go. But I have the Houston Texans being dominant, man.
Yeah, for sure. 24-10, that'd be a good strong win as well. I can't fathom a scenario where they lose this game, but obviously
let's knock on wood, man. Let's knock on wood.
I can't fathom a scenario, but and I think here's the thing, man. We talk about CJ Stroud and his development, and he's, like I said, he's only had 200-300 yard games of the last 5 games, but still, man, it's just you can see
300 yard
games. But you just see how he's different, man. You can tell he's not a rookie. I mean, he didn't look like a rookie when he was a rookie, but you can just see his different, and the way he manipulates the pocket, he's able to avoid pressure. He has the will to win, and I don't see CJ Stroud allowing the Texans to lose a game like this. That's just me personally. So that's why I have him winning big.
No, I 100% agree. With this coaching staff, with this quarterback, you should win this game. You cannot have another Atlanta Falcons game. You cannot have another Carolina Panthers game.
For sure. Well, man, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till we're doing the Twin Toros podcast after the fact. Want to remind you guys, our reaction videos to these games is on the ESPN Houston YouTube channel. Please, guys, go subscribe to that channel, and you can save our playlist, the Twin Toros playlist, to your favorites. Set that notification bell. Make sure you don't miss a single episode. We appreciate all of you guys for supporting the videos, both on Ruben's channel, 713 Houston Sports. If you're not subscribed there, please go subscribe there. I'm going to leave his link tree in the description so you can find all his socials. He's on X, IG, and TikTok. And then you'll find me at Houston Sports State of the Union podcast on YouTube. I'll leave my link tree in there as well. I do my show live the first and last Wednesday of every month, and then the 2 middle weeks, I do it on Fridays. I know that might be confusing. One day I'm going to be on Ruben's level and get my daily Houston sports swag on. I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm so thankful to be doing this show with you, man. Is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, man. Once again, thank you to all the fans. It means the absolute world that you guys take time out of your very busy day and listen to us knuckleheads talk about a Houston Texans
Tell
team
me
that
about
damn near gives us a heart attack every single week.
Every single week. We're getting a big dub this time. We're getting a big time dub. Ruben, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are going to see you on ESPN Houston next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. In the meantime, we want you to stay 10 toes down for the H. We love you. Good night.